Atlanta today, you can go down there, and in many other cities and states, you see city workers working after hours. The sun going down. What do you think they're doing? They are placing satellites. They even have satellites in trees to subdue your melanin, to keep you from being able to evolve into that fifth dimension, meaning to become that great old one. The children today that's born with gray hair, coming out the womb, sticking their fingers up, talking, basically. People say, oh, that's crazy. It's not crazy. It's showing you that something is transforming within the illusion that's connected more so with the reality. The reality is now about to have an orgasm because of what's going on here. You see, the reality and the illusion, there's nothing wrong with the illusion. We look at the illusion and say, oh, it's the matrix. It's fine because we're here. And we were strong enough to make it here and survive. We're supposed to have been dead on the illusion. But the illusion must, if it's connected to the reality, what do you think it's doing? If it's having an evolution. And in order for anything to evolve, it has to have some type of sexual communication. Just like you lay down with your woman. The stars have sexual communication. They give birth to other stars, whether it's immovable or movable. Or you have fallen stars, which are those like us. We are the fallen stars who have that DNA. You get what I'm saying? So now they're creating satellites in trees in many states where it's throwing off negative electromagnetic waves to bounce off the metals or the genetically modified foods that's in your body. See, when you go and eat the foods, right, they know that it's in your body. They take a consensus every single year to see what you eat. And what they'll do is they'll set those frequencies off and it'll touch that metal in your body, and now you wake up, you got cancer, you gay. There's no such thing as a gay gene. You're not born gay. Everything is born innocent. Everything. Nobody comes into this world gay. White crackers just don't understand science. You have to understand spiritual science in order to understand or understand the things that's going on today. You see, you have to look at this like this. When white people say that blacks are inferior, you have to take everything that they say that's opposite and put it on the other side of your brain, because they flipped your brain at birth. The vaccination shots, the education, the religion, right? The drugs, the guns, all of which we don't even own. We don't own none of that stuff. So they make you feel guilty. And if there's brothers in here who's doing things that they got to do for their children, I'm not going to tell you to stop doing it. I'll be hypocritical to sit here and say that I'm for brothers to take care of their children by all means or any means necessary. You get what I'm saying? So I ain't come here to judge today. I know that we are not here to make it. We're not here to survive in this world anymore. We've been here as caterpillars. Now we are evolving. We are in the cocoon, and now we are evolving into butterflies. Everything has to evolve. If we've been here for billions of years, in this form and in the elemental forms of the dark matter and the other ratios of electrons, protons, and neutrons, then it's time for us to go as well. White people don't want us to go. It's like saying bye to your kids, and you've been around them for 100 years. They are our children, and they're going to miss us. They don't want us to go. So the Bible says what? Satan is coming to try to keep as many of us, or bring as many of us with him as he can. And I keep saying he, and this God is he. So we're going to have to address that too. So if God is a he, we know that every he has a penis or testicles. And we know at one time, when it was born, it was connected to a woman, which is a she. So who is the mother of God? These are the questions that must be asked. Who is the mother of God? You see, you have to understand that this was once a matriarchal society. Now it's a patriarchal society. And this is why homosexuality is on the rise. Because they take you out to a natural state. Black people today, if you look at the cat and it starts to bark, that's the condition that we're in today. We're not even natural anymore. But there's only one thing that's saving us. See, we're not natural on the physicality or the physical state, but we're natural on a spiritual state. I talk the language of spirits and souls because this is how we relate. But spirits and souls don't exist. The only thing that exists is that which is cutting that laptop on and that which you are looking at. See, you see that in that form because you're looking through a third dimensional lens. We are that. We keeping all of that. You are inside the laptop right now. You are each other's thoughts. That's the beautiful thing about who we are as black people, because we are resonating on high frequency. But when we eat their food, they put us on low frequency. When you're on low frequency and you eat processed foods and you're looking at so-called reality shows, you'll get sicker than a person who's on high frequency and watching so-called reality shows. So it's a big difference. It's a big difference. We ought to study nature. I was talking to a queen yesterday, and she was damn near crying when she called me. She needed somebody to vent to. I never turn nobody off, whether it's a brother, whether it's a king or a queen, because I know that we are resonating in each other. I can't turn my back on a queen and a queen, a king and a queen, and see them suffering and not do anything about it. But she was telling me, she was like, her daughter, disrespected her, and I got permission to talk about it. And her daughter's disrespected her. And I said, well, how long has this been going on? She said, for years. And she said, I'm a spiritual person and I'm a conscious person. I said, hold on, let's stop. I said, I'm not gonna come and give it and play beat around the bush with you. I said, you spiritual, and I said, you conscious. But what type of conscious? What type of spiritual are you? Because anytime somebody come to me and say that they are there to give obligation to their children, even though they are 24 years old, they are adults now, because of physical bloodline, then you're not conscious. My mother, like I said before y'all came in the room, my mother is not my mother. She even said that to me herself. But she said it in a negative way. She said, you ain't my child. But when I got older, I understood what she was saying. I didn't take it as negative. I said, you know what, Mom? Remember when I was little and you said I'm not your child? I said, I get it now. You were saying something unconsciously, didn't even know what you were saying. Even though you was high. You didn't even know what you were saying. So thank you for telling me that. But at the same time, it's just like going into a jail. That jail is not your home. You're just there for something. Because of something that you did. And it's a frequency calling you there at that time. It may be an ancestor in that cell or in that jail that needs you to say something in a way that a million people told it a million times. But it's only you who can say it the same way that those million people said it and can open the third eye or that pineal gland or raise that Christ or the Christos to its resurrection. Rise, erection, resurrection. So Christ rose. So when you go and you look at the monuments in D.C., that's your resurrection. That's your third eye. This is what's going on with us now in this room. We here because we the extraterrestrials. We the aliens. The white man wants you to think that the aliens are some wheel. The wheel is not in the sky. Those government machines built. That ain't shit. These some old government machines that's built by the government and Chinese people. The wheel is here. You have 12 systems in the brain, which connect to the 12 zodiacs in the sky. And the third eye connects to the serpent. Christ is Satan, which is your higher and lower self. So when you're looking at Christ, you're looking at somebody who's rising on a high frequency, then you look at Satan. So you are operated and you are embedded to use both on the illusion. So if somebody smack you, you smack them the hell back. If somebody, you get what I'm saying? It's all that turning your cheek shit don't work. That's not how science is. Imagine you walking up on a lion and its cubs. Even if you reach down to pet the lion, it's going to attack you. So they have more sense than we do. Nature has more sense than we do. We so far gone from nature to the point where nature has to come down on low frequency in order to interact with us. Don't you know that a dolphin resonates with more higher frequency than we do? And we're supposed to be over animals, over amphibians, over all of this stuff, over the reptiles and things of that nature. But yet when you study a dolphin, when you come around it, before it comes into contact with you, a dolphin is resonating on 55% of its brain capacity. But as soon as the frequency comes into contact with us, it has to bring its frequency down because it feels that our energy is so low that it's far gone from nature. That's sad. That's sad. So what we do is we get the things that we can identify with, dogs, cats, things like that, to try to be like our former slave master. And still our slave master, to some of our slave masters, to an extent, our slave masters today. Just another form. See, we think that slavery is over with. It's still here. It's still here. The pawn shops, the liquor stores, you get what I'm saying? The jails, sports. That's what I'm saying. I don't see how brothers sit back all day and watch men running up and down a field, up and down a basketball court, smacking each other on the ass. Good job, good job. You see, we think that's natural. That's not fucking natural. While y'all smacking each other on the ass, we should be out here killing these goddamn crackers. That's murdering our children. So that become more natural than our true moral values. They put a ball in your hand to pay you a couple $2 billion. They tell you write a song and say bitch a few times. It's resonating within your locus coeruleus, which is inside of your ear. Something that moves back and forth. It's a recorder. It's a recorder. You become whatever is recording within that locus coeruleus of your brain. It sends it to the mammalian brain, part of your brain. And then guess what? You out there calling your woman a bitch. And you really don't mean it. It's just something else inside of you that's doing it. It's not you doing it. It's just like when you eat genetically modified organisms, they go into your body. Organisms are living things. So when they go into your body, they have sexual communication with each other and become one. So it's like a child. It creates its own taste buds. So you may wake up at 3 in the morning, you want some Oreo cookies, some ice cream. It's not you who want it. It's those organisms that you created in your body. And you feed it the Oreo cookies and the ice cream and the chicken and the pork, and you allowing it to create other organisms in your body. And then not only that, but it don't stop there. Now you watch a television that's putting you on 432 hertz or below, and it's coinciding with those genetically modified organisms, and now you're becoming a savage. Things start to look different to you. You become comfortable in your state. So now you're shutting down parts of your brain. Every time that you endow on megahertz by way of television, computer, cell phone, whatever, the foods that you eat, that's all communication. You are actually taking your DNA and you depressing it, or you changing your DNA. That's why when you teach a woman when she's pregnant, she's the first teacher. Why? See, when you teach a woman when she's pregnant, you're not actually the first teacher. She's teaching unconsciously to that which she's about to produce. See, teaching physically ain't shit. I don't care if you come to me and say, I got all these books, I read all these books. I'd have been up with the best of them, and they ain't touched me. Doctorate degrees, master degrees, lawyers, scientists, geneticists. I dropped out in the 3rd grade. I was in a group home here in Richmond, as a matter of fact, St. Joseph's Villa, at the age of 13. So I grew up in a way where I got to a point, my spirit said, you know what? We have to get you to a point to depress you so we can activate something in your mind that will help you to alleviate or raise the people who are identical to you. And most people in this room has been to prison, I'm pretty sure. Sold drugs, had messed up, family members and stuff like that. Women been touched. I mean, we're adults. We all have. We look at these situations as being bad. It is bad. But at the same time, if you allow it to be a seed in you, that seed will grow for you to be able to become that extraterrestrial, so you can create things in other people that will help them to see past the same thing that you went through. You get what I'm saying? So, brother, let's go to the next slide. All right. Christ against money exchange in Matthew 21:12 and 13. And Jesus entered the temple and drove out all those who were buying and selling in the temple and overturned the tables of the money exchangers and the seats of those who were selling doves. And he said to them, it is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a robber's den. Now what's going on when you look at America today? Who is the church is connected to? In order for you to set up as a church, you must set up as a 501c3. That's plain and simple. And what is a 501c3? It's a business contract with the IRS, who is the private collection agency of the International Monetary Fund system. And that money goes to the Federal Reserve, and they initiate all of the wars. So when you got pastors today telling you to give your money up, the next time you ask them, just tell them, look, the money's the root of evil. I can't give you my money. I got bills. Their bills getting paid. Our people out on the street. Black people got more churches in America than any guy. If we were to turn those churches into schools, economic schools, I ain't gonna say any school, but economic schools, because that's what we need. We need our own banks. We need our own medical facilities. We need our own stock exchange. This is what I'm doing. I'm running the United States of Africa for our people. And I'm not compromising. I'm not under any Federal Reserve systems. I'm not with any internal revenue systems. So they're going to have to do what they got to do. But they're not going to take me. Because the thing is this right here, I'm surrounded by my ancestors. It sounds spooky, but you'll see if they try. See, when you plan, you have to be smart. See, I want the gang members. I don't want no proper motherfuckers. Because they ain't ready for war. The gang members is ready for somebody to set it off. All it takes is for one person to set it off, not marching. They're going to set it off. And who better to do it? So the thing is, just stay tuned to what's coming ahead of us. Because it's about time for us to be able to cross over now. It's about to be ours. is about to be ours. They say Maya will be established in the West. You are in the West, but not America. That's a corporation. You are in the West. You are in the West Gate, which the Masons call, the North Gate. I'm sorry. You are in the North Africa, which is the North Gate. And when you go into that courtroom, the judge is sitting at that North Gate. He already know who Mayat is, but they put it as some old stinking cracker ass female. When you go in the courtroom and you look behind the seal, you see the woman. All the states are Commonwealth, by the way. You see the woman standing on a man with her foot. That's the balance of the scales. You look at that and be like, damn, that's crazy. Why is she standing on his neck? There's nothing wrong with that picture. It's your history that they're using. It's your laws to a certain extent that they're using. The black robe. What is the metaphysics of black robe? That's the black hole, which is the melanin. Universal laws. But the thing is, they can't use universal laws because they don't understand what spiritual elements is, so they have to use physical laws. And this is why anytime we eat physical laws is like processed food. So being that we're being justified or we're being prosecuted under physical laws, our health as far as us being able to make it in a society such as this, we're losing. We're losing. A lot of people say, well, it's time for us to go and put paperwork in the courts. A lot of the Moors, I love my brothers, but stick to the sciences. You think these motherfuckers is going to let you come superior over them by filing some paperwork? If the cops run up on you today with your feds on and your paperwork, and he got a gun in your face, hopefully you won't keep that paperwork up. Hopefully you try to fight for your motherfucking life. I get a lot of inboxes, man. We just go get the laws first, and let's become sovereign first. You have to be sovereign here first. You think I'm going to give my people $1 million, and I see all they do is support Michael Jordan, who got stocks in prison and capitalized off his own people. When I start to see our people start talking about real estate, air rights, mineral deeds, land, economic wealth, then we can move further. Not all of us are going to go. Lady told me the other day, she said, well, I like what you're doing. You shouldn't talk about religion because everybody in the same condition. We all need to fight together and then we'll sort it all out. I said, no, that's wrong. I said, because if I start a nation or a military with people who think that we are the same, then it's going to be easy to be infiltrated again. So most of our people got to go too. But it ain't going to be a lot. It ain't going to be a lot. Even Noble Drew Ali said it. I have a great level of respect for Noble Drew Ali. I'm not against what Noble Drew Ali bought, but you got to understand that he put his pants on like you. He never went to no United Nations. I checked the records. I got people who work in the jurisdiction of the United Nations. And I'm going to do a lecture pertaining to just for the Moors. It's going to be just for the Moors, and I'm going to show you the records where it was only 11 people who showed up to the meeting, the Pan-American Conference. But I'm not going to, just because he didn't show up don't mean that he didn't do anything for us. He still brought sciences for us. All you have to do is look at the prophecies that he brought. He said, in the end days, you'll see you won't be able to get white women off of you. What's going on today? White women taking all the black men because we weak. We don't want to sacrifice for our women. Even though the system fighting us, we can say, well, the system won't let me see my child. Okay, cool. Well, let's come together and create a system where we back the system into the corner. We got to pull out rifles, man. Fuck that shit about marching with guns. We can't just march with guns. How can I down Farrakhan for marching with bow ties or bean pies? You can have a gun and march with it, it still ain't going to do anything. We got to start blasting at these motherfuckers. We got to start blasting. Nat Turner. See, they got us to the point where we're afraid to even bust back at them. But we can shoot each other. What type of psychology is that? We can kill each other. It's easier for us to kill each other than to kill a cracker. I can't stand them goddamn motherfuckers. And I'm telling you right now, when I go to Chicago this week, it's gonna be on. I'm gonna make one statement and that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna give it to you early, but I'm only gonna make one statement. You can't kill no more of ours. All these other so-called leaders who've been infiltrated by the government or set up by the government, they gotta sit in the back now. So it's time for us to ride now and sacrifice. It's not for us. It's not about us anymore. There's nothing wrong with death. You have to respect death because life came with it. Death is life. You're still in a holding cell right now as you speak. What, you think you living life? Because you riding around with Rams and Nikes and shit? You think you living life? Yeah, we say we kings and queens on this realm. Kings and queens don't exist on this realm. Kings and queens is when you look up in the universe. and you see the sun keeping your cells in cosmic rhythm, when you see the moon in cosmic rhythm of the magnetism that detoxes the earth, because without the moon, we'll all be dead. Our hearts will be clogged up. It's the moon that detoxes the universe for us, not for white people, but for us. For us. So the thing is, now it's time to stand up. It's time to be brave. It's time to stop killing each other by any means necessary. If we have to murder a cracker, we're going to have to do it. We can't be scared. See, but if I say, come on, let's go get a brother. Let's put our rigs on and go get a brother. It's cool. I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm going to write Farrakhan, man, and see if he'll come out here with me. Because I'm about picking up the AK-47. And down. See, I ain't come to be organized. We've been too fucking organized. People keep telling me, say, you be careful. Be careful, protect your wife. She ready to die. Ain't you ready to die? I'm not with nobody who's not ready to die, who's not on the same frequency as me. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a smaller circle, but I'm going to try anyway, because I know that even if I try, if I don't get done what I need to get done here, my frequency is going to jump over to another brother, and he's going to make it better. Because as the universe shifts, we're going to be more endowed. We're going to be more determined to say, you know what, it's easy to go kill these crowds. Let's go do it. They're falling out right now. The universe will come to your aid. When they say Christ coming back from the east into the west with a sword dripping in blood, that's in Revelations. So who is the Christ coming back from the east into the sun rise from the east into the west? So now you got a sun that's coming back, right? Because the equator shifted 33 degrees 2 years ago. And because it shifted 33 degrees, which is the higher degrees of masonry in the Western world, we 720. Don't never let somebody tell you that 33 degrees is the highest Freemasonry. That's theirs. That's why they can only tie that tassel down to the side of that face. They can't let it swing the whole 360 degrees. There's no such thing as going to a Freemasonry temple. This is your temple right here. That's your square and compass. When you, even in the word more, you have M-O-O-R. So when you say more in dyslexia, what is the word? Room. And the room has what? Common room has 4 corners. That's your square. When we say, what's up, square? How you traveling, square? So that's your compass and your square. Your compass is your third eye. Number 3, that's the compass. That's how you make the compass. 3-degree angle. So the thing is this right here. When we do things, we're doing things for a reason. We are actually carrying something out for something else somewhere else. It's hard to actually get it to you because my mind is so far gone, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of people calling me and telling me that they're not sleeping, they're waking up between the hours of 3 o'clock and 3:30. It's a reason for that. It's a reason. Why did they make 3 o'clock? That's not our time. 3 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, do you know what happens at 3 o'clock? Your melanin, the frequencies of your melanin is cleansing your body to heal. But when you're eating foods that's not high in electric foods or alkaline, it can't do it. It can't do it. So now they got us in everywhere we turn, they got it. If they don't eat the food, they still don't go to our school. If they don't go to our school, they don't go to our church. If they don't go to our church, then we just spread the chemtrail. But guess what? Today, they are back in the laboratory because now they're seeing that the chemtrails is not even bothering most black people, so-called black people in America. Because I say black loosely, but it's a classification. It's a classification. So when somebody asks you who you are and what you believe in, tell them you don't believe you know. Tell them you are the universe. Because there's nothing older, and scientists can't even prove how old the universe is. Elijah Muhammad said that himself. He said we don't even have a birth rate. See, I'm against certain things in a nation. Just because somebody says 2 or 3 good things in a nation and then do 2 or 3 bad things, don't mean that I'm staying there because the 2 or 3 good things is there and then just leave the 2 or 3 bad things alone. I got to address it. Elijah Muhammad, when I study the nation, I study Elijah Muhammad, not Farrakhan. There's a reason why I do that. Because Elijah Muhammad, even though he was a Mason himself, he brought us what we need, which was the word devil. It's called a white man the devil. I know y'all like, hold on. When you go into kemetic sciences and you study devil, you say that's our higher and lower self. It is. We devils too. But we are another type of devil. We're not the devils that devalue. Devil means to devalue. Devil, devalue another life. This is what they've been doing. Traveling to and fro all over the earth, making mischief. We ain't been doing that. We ain't been going to countries, taking people and hanging there women on the trees and beating the baby out of their womb. We ain't did that. So when they called me racist, I said, hold on, go check my record. Because I ain't hung out one white person. And you lucky, I'm just talking right now. You get what I'm saying? So we have to look into that. Go on to the next slide. Try to get it all. Preachers, politics, and the gospel. It's all the same. All right, all churches are contracted with IRS as 501c3. All right, you all know this. Go down a little bit. Did you know that it is the IRS, all right there, who collects for the Federal Reserve, who finances all of the wars that have taken place? These churches are given EIN numbers, employee identification numbers, which is to operate their churches. So now I ask, what was the employee identification number of Jesus? We need to know this. Because if these are men of God, right? And Jesus had a church that he went to. I need to know the name of the church that he went to, and I need to know the employee identification number of and what year did he file with the IRS. And if the IRS didn't exist, who existed at that time? Are these the bloodline members of the people who existed with Christ at that time? I'm still into metaphysics now. You just can't see it. Just bear with me. Because when they put Christ on a cross, they put us on a cross. But it's now time to resurrect. Again, to resurrect what? And for what? To get away from who? You get what I'm saying? And we're going to answer that. Go to the next one. All right. Why does God have a gender? Does he have a penis, a YX chromosome? Is there a lady God? Or is it because he was invented by misogynistic men? Go down, brother. Misogynistic men. The definition he is used to refer to as a man, boy, or male. While I define man as one who cannot be in any existence without the company of a female, meaning that if God is a he, which is how Christians refer to as God, then the question must be asked, where is his mother? If God is being referred to as a he, then scientifically speaking, we know that a man consists of one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. A woman has two X chromosomes, and in order for the he to exist with his one X, one Y chromosome, he would most definitely need a woman with the two X chromosomes to exist. We always ask the question of, did Adam have a belly button? Which is fine, but let's attack the root. If God was a he, then every he that exists has to have a belly button. Next slide, I already went through that. And by the way, they tell you in their schools that black women, they say that all women have two X chromosomes. It's a lie. It's the only black woman who has two X chromosomes. White women don't. They never had it. They never had it. Now, they say that God is a spirit, but they refer to God as a he. Now, which one is it? Can a spirit be a he or a she? I want to know that because God impregnated Mary, right? Was Mary married to God? Because God said, if you're not married, then that right there is adultery. That's committing sin. So that means that God sinned too. Who's going to forgive God for his sins? Slept with Mary. Now, what is a spirit? The spirit is a non-physical part of a person that is the seat of emotions and character, the soul. So the Bible characterizes God as being a he, and we know as a he, this is a physical character, then the mathematical formula of law is not adding up if Christians claim that God is a spirit, because we see a spirit as a non-physical entity really